my God.
He fits
Powder.
in. He's
Powder.
fucking.
Powder my nose.
You want to be? Oh my God, that scared the shit out of me. Holy shit! Help!
Totally. It's a little bit of nerves.
Like sweating like a whore in
Well,
church.
you know, I sweat all the time, but there's a little bit of nerves in there.
Why?
I don't know. It's, like I said, I've never done anything like this before.
You talk to me all the time.
I know.
I think the more we go along with it, the more
For
organic
sure.
it's gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, like, I didn't even sleep last night.
Really?
I didn't.
Were you excited?
I mean, yeah, totally. It was like thinking about it. I was like, the nerves. The nerves are getting to me.
you're like, I'm gonna be so fucking famous.
Yeah. Telling the stories.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
It's like an online journal.
That's it.
Welcome to the Been There, Done That, Got Arrested podcast where bad decisions make the best stories. I'm Amber. Somehow I've managed to stay out of trouble for the most part. And this is Aaron, my co-host and the star of the show, who has been arrested
Multiple times.
multiple times. But hey, at least it makes for good content. Every week we take you through wild stories, questionable choices, and a few lessons that we've learned the hard way. Let's get into it. We figured instead of paying for therapy, we would just start a podcast and tell stories.
I mean, I've done some therapy as a kid, but you know, when you're a teenager, you definitely don't want to do that.
No.
You know, I just did it because I was forced to do it.
Well, because when you're a teenager, it's super lame.
Yeah, right, exactly. Teen angst.
Go ahead and introduce yourself and a little bit of why we got started here. So, well, just,
Aaron?
no, you could just talk to me.
Okay.
Yeah, we just talk to each other, and these are
Well,
they
how
just
is it?
exist.
Aaron. Lived here my whole life, pretty much. Lived in Arizona for a year.
Oh, I didn't know you lived in Arizona.
Yeah. My dad moved there. Yeah, I was in 1980. So my mom.
Were your parents? They weren't divorced.
They were separated.
Okay.
I mean, they never actually got divorced.
Okay.
They were good friends. My mom would always invite my dad over to like barbecues and family functions. They always kept that. They just couldn't be together.
Yeah.
So 1980, that's when they actually split. My dad wanted us out in Arizona. My mom was like, okay. She sent us there.
Yeah.
And it didn't last for. I mean, it was like a year, 3 kids. My dad was a crazy person. I mean, literally crazy person. And he just knew he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
He couldn't do it there. And like the people in Arizona are crazy, at least where I lived in Phoenix. Those stories are crazy. I'll give you one real quick. Next door neighbor, 2 houses down. He was kind of a biker type, long hair. He had a son that was three. And in this kid's bedroom, usually you're going to see pictures, whatever, Barney, whatever it is at the time. No. Plastered Playboy centerfolds. Wall to wall.
He's 3?
About three. And then my son's not going to be, homo or whatever, just totally,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right now, he would get a charge for like child sexual
Toxic
exploitation.
masculinity.
Yeah.
I mean,
3 years old.
3.
Ew.
I don't think he even knew what he was looking at. They were nuts. I mean, he was nuts. And and at the time, even my dad was a little nuts. He was like, it was a different time.
Yeah.
Than the latchkey kids.
Yeah.
So I remember my dad used to like to take us tubing. And there was like a wall there that was at one time, it was something. It was some kind of building. I don't know what was there. The whole place was down except one wall that was next to the water. You climbed up this wall and the wall was so tiny. It was the width of it was like maybe this big. And right where you climbed up, if you fell like right there, if you lost your balance, you went down, rocks, dead.
Ew.
Rocks dead. You had to like climb it and then go down the wall where you can jump. And like my dad, me and Carla and my sisters were like, what the hell was dad thinking? He like totally let us do that.
Dude, as a parent now, when I look back at like I was telling my sister this story because my sister is 17 and we grew up in 2 wildly different generations of life. And I'm like, I'm just with my kids all the time. And I'm like, when my mom had me, she was like, I don't want to see your face until the street lights come on.
Yeah, it was a different mom though. That's a different mom.
No, but I'm just saying that time.
Oh, you think it was the time when you were growing up?
Absolutely. Because they would put us out and my mom had this whistle that I could hear from like 3. She does it like this.
Yeah.
And 3 miles away, I could hear it. And as soon as she had it, I'm like, bye, guys.
Yeah, but what did the kids that you grew up with and hung out with, what were their parents like?
Same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
everybody's outside. You're at the park. We didn't have pagers then.
Okay.
We didn't have cell phones then. It was like you came in and checked in, maybe.
Some of the people were like, when the street lights go on.
Right.
You're in. But I thought by that generation, it was already...
Because I grew up in the 90s.
Right. I mean, I guess it was during that time there were still... Parents were like, get out of my house.
Right.
Go.
Right. I don't want to see your face.
Yeah.
And you have better pulled fucking chicken from the freezer. I'm going to beat your ass.
And I mean, me and my sisters, like, there was no punishment with our parents. They'd be like, you're punished, you're staying. And then we knew the trick was just make a lot of noise, drive your parents crazy to like, get out of the house.
Right.
I mean, so we knew that. But I thought by the 90s, parents were already a little more whatever, helicopter, whatever you want to say, just a little more.
No, I mean, because I grew up with my grandparents as well, and it was just like go outside.
Right.
I remember there was this guy who would walk his dogs, 2 giant white, just like puffball dogs. And every time I'd be like, can I walk your dogs with you? I'm like my daughter's age, I'm 5.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I guess. And so I'd go with him and I'm like, dude, I was dead every single time. Like somebody has a dog. I'm like, hey, can I just come with you back to your apartment?
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, like in Arizona, the next door neighbor, he moved in. He was like a younger guy. I'd say he was in his 20s. When we moved in, he was super cool. He actually took me, he had a motocross bike. He took me for a ride on it. And I guess after you moved there, and us kids, all the kids that were on the block, we basically drove him crazy. And I remember one time he came out and he busted out his gun. He's like, starts firing the gun up in the air. And like, as kids, we're just like, oh, you got me. Oh, you know, we didn't even think this guy's shooting a real gun. And then one of the moms came out and she's like, who's shooting that gun out here? And he's like, oh, it's a starter pistol. And she's like, honey, I've been like shooting guns since I was a kid.
Right.
That was a big gun. That was like a 45.
Some mom with a wooden spoon. She's like,
pretty much.
who's the motherfucker with the gun?
I know what real guns sound like. That was no starter pistol. And he was just to scare us, I guess. But it didn't really scare us because we were just kids who were like, oh. You know, I mean, we didn't really think it was a real gun. I mean,
it's like the mask.
Yeah, right. Totally. That's what it was. Oh, you got me. I think I did that too. I was like, oh, you got me. You know? But yeah, people, they're nuts, man. Nuts. I feel like heat, wherever there's lots of hot, you know, temperatures, it fries their brain. I mean, let's think about places where it's really hot and the people that come out of those places.
Florida.
I mean, it does something. I don't know. Florida is definitely one of them. Florida's definitely one of them.
Oh my God. Okay, so you lived in Chicago, you lived in Arizona.
For a year.
And then what?
Moved in back with me and my sister moved in with my mom because my dad was trying to come
Where's
back.
your other sister?
They were both my sisters.
Oh,
Carlin
I thought
Mira.
you said me and my sister. Just one. Okay.
Both. Carlin and Mira, we all moved in with my mom.
Because you're the youngest.
I am not the youngest.
Shut up. Oh, Mira's the youngest.
Right.
That's
I'm
right.
in the middle. Everybody thinks that because my mom like totally babied me and like, you know, let me get away with murder for so many years.
I also still think you're younger than me. So
yeah. I mean, you know, we'll stat.
It's fine.
We'll stat in the house.
But, so Carlin, you don't have to give ages away, but how far apart are you guys?
A year and a half. Because it's like sometimes in the years she's like 2 years older and then she's only a year. So it's like a year and a half older.
Okay.
Mira's 1 year younger than me.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Carlin very much gives off older sister vibes.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oldest girl.
Yeah.
Me and her.
The one in charge.
Like this.
For sure. It's that superiority complex kind of vibe.
Keeping people in check.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I didn't even realize it until Chris said it. He's like, you have something to live up to when you're the oldest child because, you know, your siblings that are younger are looking up to you.
Well, also, too, I think when you grew up in a tumultuous household, too, we become the buffer.
Yeah.
And that becomes like a weird parenting thing where you try to buffer and take a lot of the heat for the younger kids.
That I think as a kid, you know, because Carlin is a very intelligent person. Mm-hmm. And growing up, if that's the person you look to, they're kind of your mentor in a sense. And like so many people say like me and Carlin are so much alike. And I didn't even think about it and analyze it until I was older. I'm like,
Mira's like, hey.
I mean, Mira was always, we'd be like, oh, you're adopted because she always looked so much different than us. Me and Carlin were fat, chubby kids. Mira was really skinny. She's like, she's adopted. She's like totally going to my mom and dad. I'm not adopted. She's adopted.
You know what's really funny about that is it kind of gives me and my middle sister and then my youngest sister, Carlin, and you give off just like kind of black cat vibes, and then Mira is My Little Pony.
Yeah,
like
totally.
Everything sparkles and glitters.
It is that. She is totally that.
So tell me a little bit about, because we were supposed to introduce ourselves, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, it's our podcast. We can do whatever we want. I'm here. I'm as the host, voice of reason, I guess. I am pretty, I wouldn't say prude, but pretty ignorant when it comes to like the life that you've lived.
For sure.
I have no experience.
I'm also a little bit worried about telling.
I'm no judgment here.
Okay,
this is a judgment-free zone.
That.
We'll leave that for the comments section.
I've definitely lived. Yeah, right. Exactly. I mean, you kind of run the company that you keep. And where I grew up, I mean, there was a lot of scumbags that I grew up with. So, you know, I kind of was a scumbag for many years. You know?
I have my fair share of shit. I've never gone to jail. I never got caught.
Right.
I also used to hang out with cops, so I think that helped me.
There you go. And you're a girl.
A lot. Yeah.
The girl gets you by many, many things.
Yeah, probably.
No, definitely. No, probably. You're
probably
batting those eyes at him. I'm like,
I have pretty privilege.
That's right. You're like speeding 100 miles on you. You're batting your eyes at them. Officer, was I speeding? No, you weren't. Of course not.
They're like, do you have a blinking problem?
Yeah, right. Right, exactly. Like, no ticket? No, you don't got a ticket. Here, take my number.
So what was your life like growing up?
Well, my mom and dad were kind of hippie-ish types. You know, they were the type who was like, let us draw on the walls till we were like 4 years old.
Hell yeah.
You know, just express yourself.
Yeah.
You know, once you're 4 or 5 years
cool.
old. Yeah. But my dad was crazy. My mom was totally chill.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, here's the things. My dad smoked weed. And when he smoked weed, he was like the nicest guy in the world. So I was like, why don't you smoke more weed? I could show you pictures of where I'm like sitting there and I'm like, I'm sitting next to my dad on the ground. He's got his like hand on my head like I'm a dog or something. But you can see he's totally stoned.
Yeah.
But when he wasn't stoned, dude, his temper, it was nasty.
Did he drink?
No.
Okay.
It was nasty. Like you were talking about your mom and her whistle. That was my dad's voice.
Oh.
If you heard it, and he just was a scary looking dude. His face would get beat red. His eyes would bulge out.
Yeah.
I mean, it was scary. It was literally scary as a kid. Even as an adult, he was scary looking.
Yeah.
You know? So here's where, this is the crazy part of it. Me and my sisters were always like, yeah, it's the inbreeding that caused it. I mean, seriously, this is what, so my grandfather, he was from Belarusia. My grandmother grew up in the States. At that time, there was war and everything. My grandfather was Jewish, and he was trying to get out of the country at the time because war was coming. So he had relatives here that would pair up, like cousins, first cousins, second cousins.
Need my banjo.
I mean, this right. That's what it was. And we're like, why was Dad so crazy? It's like my grandmother and grandfather were the most awesome people, total gentle, like. But my dad was like had this rage in him, and a lot of it came from also he hated his mom because she was Jewish and Orthodox Jewish, so he pushed the religion on him. So,
did you ever talk to your dad about like his growing up? Like, did he have any sort of trauma or anything? No, he's just pissed?
That's why we say thin breeding.
Oh my God,
it's thin breeding. Yeah, my grandfather went from Belarusia to Cuba. And then he was in Cuba and he like learned the language. He learned how to speak Spanish. He learned a trade there. He got into textiles. He got a cart and sells like socks and underwear and stuff like that. And he became a fabric cutter. That's what it was when he came to the States. But my grandmother went to Cuba. They got married and then they came back to America. And my dad was almost born in Cuba.
All right. So your grandfather would have been your grandfather anyways, and your grandmother would have been your grandmother anyways.
Yes. Are you confused on that? My grandmother had to go to Cuba. He can only go to Cuba.
No, I'm confused as how your dad is inbred.
They're first cousins.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. Oh, they're first cousins. They had a relative that would pair up relatives to get them out of war countries that war was coming, or war-torn countries.
So what does that make your dad to you?
He's still my dad.
Well, yeah. Is he like your dunkle?
Yeah, right. I don't think. No. Well, I mean. Well, if they were first cousins...
All of a sudden, there's that math.
But I was going to say, if they were first cousins, what would that make him?
A second cousin?
I don't know.
To your parents?
I don't really know. I'm bad with lineage. Like that once removed, this and that, cousins, I don't really...
Well, I'm just trying to think if two first cousins get married and have a kid.
Right. What is that offspring?
That becomes a second cousin.
I think the second cousin comes if the two cousins are married to someone else, and then that their offspring becomes a cousin.
Right, a second cousin.
But what is right? A second cousin. But if the two cousins marry,
still a second cousin.
Is it though?
Two and a half.
I mean, I don't know. Once removed, I really don't know. I never really gave that much thought. I really don't know. All I know is my grandparents were first cousins. Through like I said, there was a relative that would from the States that would like arrange marriages.
Yeah.
And get the relatives out of the country where either war is a war-torn country or war was coming.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I remember like my grandfather, like very reserved, just the generation. And my dad had two daughters prior to my mom's marriage.
That's right. I knew about that.
Two half sisters. Yeah. And one of them was dating a guy. And one year they came for Thanksgiving, and this guy spoke multiple languages. He could speak Russian. He could speak Yiddish. Right. He could speak Spanish. I mean, all these things. So he basically interviewed my grandfather in all these different languages.
Yeah.
Like it was like, like American and Spanish and Spanglish, but it was Polish and Russian and Yiddish and all these different languages. And we were saying, like, we would have never got those things out of my grandfather, the story.
Right.
And the story was he was really young. I mean, he was like a teenager. He was leaving the country. He only had a few bucks in his pocket. The one thing I'll remember that he said was, "I'll never forget the name of the boat that he was on because it smelled so like putrid and like shit. Like it was so bad. That's what stuck in his mind. The name of the boat because it was so horrible. Everybody packed in there.
What was the name?
I don't know." He remembered it. I don't remember it. He said he'll never forget it. I forgot it.
I don't fucking care.
Yeah, I mean, at that time, I was probably, 13, 14 years old.
You're like, I just remember it smelled like shit.
I mean, it was a crazy story, that you hear, your grandfather who, defects from his country or whatever, and is on this boat, probably 14, 15 years old, no money in his pocket, going to marry his cousin to get into the
Story of my
States.
life.
I mean, yeah, really. To get into America.
And to give a little background to our audience, you are Korean and no, stop it. Damn it.
Yeah, just because I love K-pop. No, I hate K-pop.
You're Japanese.
Right. On my mom. My mom's full-blooded Japanese, so I'm half Japanese.
And?
Half Eastern European. Like I said, my grandfather was born and lived and was brought up in Belarusia, White Russia, which is now Belarus.
Okay.
Okay. And I want to say that he was of Polish descent. That his family and his bloodline came from Poland because it's right next to it.
Okay.
His last name was, I think it was like Piasecki or Piasecki or something like that.
Something with a key at the end.
Right, exactly. Ski at the end.
Yeah.
And so Eastern European, I guess that's what he was. Eastern European, probably Polish descent if I could figure it out and, go through one of those, 23andMe.
Yeah. Have you ever done that?
No.
Oh.
No, but I probably would have to say it's like probably Polish.
Okay.
Probably Polish descent.
Yeah. We're over there too. I'm half Mexican. My dad's 100% Mexican. And then my mom is mostly Hungarian and Lithuanian.
Okay.
Those are the two big on my other side.
Okay.
Just a couple of mixed kids.
Yeah, that's a couple of mutts.
Couple of mutts.
They make the prettiest babies.
Shit. I've mostly avoided getting arrested. I used to be a binge drinker and a fighter in bars. But I would say probably because I was a girl and hung out with police officers is why I've avoided getting arrested. I used to get in trouble a lot. I had a lot of rage issues.
Well, were they, in school or?
Oh, yeah. I fought in school all the time. I was a fighter. And a lot of times I would write a check with my mouth that my ass couldn't cash.
Absolutely.
So oh my God, I would talk so much shit. And then somebody.
They call you bluff.
Yeah, and they would. And then they'd be like, we're going to jump you after school. And I'm like, fuck.
Get cut out of class a little early.
Right. Yeah, I just used to be a real shit. I had a lot of anger problems, but nothing that ever got me super in trouble. I used to get suspended from high school all the time before they had like a no fighting policy.
Right.
And then before I would get expelled. I think the biggest
like
thing,
zero tolerance type.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, the zero
fighting
tolerance.
and drugs. And right.
Yeah, I've never done drugs. Well, that's not true. I smoked pot with Aaron 3 years ago for the first time.
Didn't we actually smoke together?
No, actually, I think I smoked and almost died. And you watched me.
I got the vape for you, the vape pen, but I didn't smoke with you.
Right. No, because you were there making sure that I lived.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I drank. I was a big binge drinker. I would like to just drink and black out. So how did we meet? We met because Aaron was best friends with my husband since he was
7. Oh, I met him when he was 17. I guess we started to get really close around 19, 20.
It was that late? I thought.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, we met at 17. We didn't really start to because I was older then. I was like, I'm going to hang out with this teenage kid. Although
I'm going to hang out with this shithead.
Yeah, I mean, we did hang out. There was the people on the block, the kid on the block and the mother on the block that all the teenage kids.
Right.
It was the stone
I think
house.
that's what I got you mixed up with because he used to hang out with that kid and that kid was like when he was like 12. So you met my husband when he was 17 and then we're 40 now.
Right.
So it's been a long time.
The story was they were hanging out in front of my house and one of the kids that they hung out had a GoPed scooter.
Oh, God.
Not the electric, but a gas one.
One thing you guys will get to know about Aaron is that he loves his I also do too. I love my gadgets. But Aaron
gadgets, right.
has yo-yos and drones and scooters and yeah.
And I remember I saw the scooter first was in the Grateful Dead parking lot. Guys were cruising around on them. I was like, oh, that looks awesome. And I bought one. Mine was like the lower model, it was the Sport. And it basically, you can't stop with it. It has a centrifugal clutch. So if you stop, the engine dies.
Okay.
But there was an upper model, it's called the Bigfoot, that you had a clutch that you can, like if you stopped, you can like put it in a gear, out of gear, keep the motor running, and then go. And it had bigger wheels on it, had like pneumatic air tires on them.
Yeah.
And there was a kid, I remember seeing him out, and he was cruising around the lot. I'm like, oh man, that kid's got that Bigfoot scooter that I know all about. And I wanted to talk to him about it.
Yeah.
So I went out there and we were talking. I was like, oh, I got the Sport, da 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 da. And I was like, these kids are stoners. I could totally tell. I was like, these kids are.
You're like, I
I'm
can
a stoner.
smell a fucking stoner from a mile away.
I'm a stoner. And then, like, for me, like, I grew up with guys that were older than me too. And I was like, I treat you the way you should be acted. If you act like an immature kid, then I'm going to treat you like an immature kid.
Yeah.
If you're mature, and Chris was one of those mature kids, that I was like, I'm going to treat him the way he should be treated.
He's always been very mature.
And that's what I mean. I know 20, 30-year-olds that were more immature than, and so I give you a little respect. You know, we get to know each other, and, you know, that little bit of respect can be given more of it, or it can be taken away.
Right.
You know, some people say respect is earned, not given.
Yeah.
I give a little bit of respect to everybody.
Well, I mean, you just have to assume that somebody is going to be all right. And then it goes from there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I grew up with a guy, he was our neighborhood pot dealer, but he was like maybe 5-6 years older than me, and he just was an asshole.
Yeah.
And I was always the kid, and you know, sometimes he'd be totally cool with me, and then all of a sudden he was just a jerk. And I was like, you know, if I ever like same situation had some young, I was like, I never do that. I never treat a kid just be, you know, like as a kid and, you know, belittle them just because of their age.
Right.
You know, but Chris, the first day I met him, he's like, hey man, can I ride your GoPed? I was like, yeah, sure. I'm just first meeting him. And like 10 minutes goes by, 20 minutes goes by. I was like, 40 minutes, an hour goes by. I'm like, this kid fucking stole my scooter.
This kid jacked my shit.
He just fucking like scooter jacked me. And I was like, hey, did that kid like steal my scooter? And they're all like, Chris?
He's laying in the middle of a fucking intersection, just blasted by a car.
So like, Chris? No, he didn't steal shit. He'll be back. I find out later that he went to go to his girlfriend's house to go have sex with his girlfriend.
Which girlfriend?
And I was like, God damn, he fucking took it. I was like, you know, this is our first meeting, you know?
That's
I was like,
hilarious.
He was gone for over an hour. And I'm just like, he's like cruising the neighborhood.
The man had things to do.
I mean, yeah, right. You got it's
People
your
to do.
first sense of
The man had people to do.
That's right. I mean, it's a cool thing just cruising around your neighborhood on something that's motorized and everything. 17 years old.
I love that he had no idea who you are.
No.
And he's like, I'm going to take this shit and go fuck my girlfriend.
I'm just going to cruise the neighborhood for like 15, 20 minutes, and then I'm going to go to my girlfriend's
Yeah, well,
house
let me tell you, he's going to
her.
be hearing about that over dinner. So
Yeah, right.
So, do you remember I don't remember my first meeting you.
Oh, I mean, it was like, you guys had already been hanging out for a while.
Yeah, but I think we were just at the apartment. You and I clicked right away.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
pretty much clicked with all of Chris's friends right away, I think. And his, I
mean,
his
what it
siblings.
was is like, I'm not a drinker. Most of the guys that, you know, and especially the ages that they were all drinking. You were out drinking.
Yeah.
So I wasn't there because I didn't drink.
Yeah.
You know, bars was not fun to me.
Yeah.
So.
But we hung around a lot in the house.
Okay.
Watched movies but I'm trying to think like, I
was making sure you were passing the test. I was like, I don't want to meet this girl and she's going to be gone, make friends with her, and then she'll be gone in like a month or two. I mean, you guys were probably together for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to even think.
Like maybe a year? Was it a year? Was it a year?
No, I met you far before then.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I met you right away.
Okay.
Well, I met you right away because...
Now, I remember them telling you, you got to meet Aaron.
I remember going to your house.
I didn't meet you right away, for sure. And I thought it was like almost close to a year.
Well, because we would have been engaged then.
Well...
We got engaged within the year.
You did?
Yeah.
It was a year? You sure?
I'm positive.
All right,
because
let's call Chris.
we started dating like September 1st of 2012. And then that April, his grandmother died, and I went to the funeral. That May, I'm just like big events.
Sure.
That May, I moved in.
Okay.
June, he bought my ring. July, August.
Wait, when did you guys? I mean, I know you guys knew each other from the softball, but when did you guys? When was your first date?
September 1st or August 30th, August 31st. How many days are in August?
3 days and 31.
Okay. So so it was August 31st, September 1st. We went out over the weekend because it was for Joel's birthday party. We were going out all the time for that.
I remember that the video. I want to dance.
I just want to fucking dance.
Dance. Yeah, right.
But by that next September, I believe it was September 22nd, we were engaged.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then I guess my timeline was different.
Yeah, and then it took us about 2.5 years to get married because we saved for the wedding, and it didn't matter. And then we got married, we went to Mexico, we had our baby, and we moved here. And that was it.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember even like Chris when he was at the job, he was going nuts. I remember he's like gonna say that. He's like, I can't stay at this job. And
right.
Like, well, guess what? I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not leaving my job.
Yeah. That was such a wild time because he was going to quit his job. I found out I was pregnant, and I had just gotten the job on television.
Right.
All in like
the
the same day. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I was just telling you that to somebody recently, how, you guys are in bed and he's like, you should try out for that.
Yeah.
They don't want a tattooed, girl with tattoos on her neck. And it's like, no, you should do that.
Next thing I know, I got a job for 3 years.
You got it.
All right. So I think we've done enough storytelling for now to give everybody a little bit of an intro to us. So I've decided we're going to do a mini segment called Could Have Been Worse. I want you to tell.
All right. Timeline makes no difference?
Timeline makes no difference because
Okay.
it's a specific question. I want you to tell me.
Oh, okay.
Because Could Have Been Worse is a segment where I'll read wild news headlines and we shall discuss.
Okay, well, just so you know, I don't watch the news. I'm not into politics. I like, because the news. Oh, okay.
No.
Like current
It's
things
stupid.
that are going.
This is stupid.
Okay, go ahead.
Very stupid.
Okay.
All right. What is the worst thing that happened to you on a plane or a trip or being in an airport? Oh, God.
Okay, that's a good one.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Tell me.
All right, so I'm 15. I was on the run.
From who?
From my dad. I was like, I ran away. I ran from home. My dad was like, I remember the day I went home, I was staying out late at night. And my dad, it was like maybe not even midnight yet, but my dad wanted me at a certain time. And he's like, if you're not here this time, I'm locking the door. I'm not going to let you in. And so I remember I went home one night. I was out partying with my friends, getting still with my buddies. And went home and he wouldn't let me in. He wouldn't let me in the house. And so I was like, all right, well. And
I'm not mad.
I was going to say, it was kind of okay. Well, that first night was terrible because it was late at night. I'm not going to my friend's house to be like, hey, can I stay with you? I remember there was this lot that had these old cars in it and everything. And they were they weren't used cars. They were scrapped cars in this empty, in this lot. And I remember trying to crawl into this car that had no windows or anything, trying to stay. And it was wintertime too. God. Trying to stay warm in the I was like, okay, I'm not going to be able to fall asleep. If I do fall asleep, I probably won't wake up. And then from that point on, I was like, I'm going to need to stay somewhere. And I remember we all hung out. I lived in a big apartment building. And do you know the apartment buildings that have the storage sheds in the basement?
Yeah.
Okay, so there was a bunch of storage sheds, all wood. It looks like a horse stall or something, like horses are. All right, so that's something, they're all wood. And I can't even imagine when the year that it was built. But we used to all go down there and party. Me and my friends. It was a place that we can stay on when it's cold, stay in there. And there was some empty sheds in there. So I'm like, I'm going to stay in the basement. And, my dad doesn't know I'm down there. And the terrible thing was going down there to get stoned with some friends. And all my other friends are down there already. But I was like, no, you can't come here and party. You can come and party with me down here. This is my apartment. You can't just come. This isn't the party spot.
You can't come use my storage
shed.
Yeah,
they're saying my building. I was like, what are you going to do if somebody could bust you? You're going to give them my name and I'm going to get in trouble.
Right.
So no, you can't party here. You can party here, but with me. I'm in this building. So I was staying down there for a while. And I remember hanging out with a friend. And we were just out stealing shit. And we got some money. We went and we got a bunch of money. I'm not going to tell you exactly how it was got. But we're like,
why? Isn't that past the statute of limitations?
Yeah, well, probably.
I'll censor it.
All right. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. We robbed the house. We robbed somebody's basement. So we went in this basement. There was a stack of money in there. And it was probably $3,000-$4,000.
Oh, shit.
So
at 15?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And I'm on the run. We're sleeping there. We had gone out for a piece of pizza. And so here's what it is. It was a double. And in less than an hour, maybe an hour, we busted into two basements. One of them, there was just a basement and there's we stole a bunch of they had a freezer and we stole a bunch of food. There was lobster tails in there. And so we're stole all this shit. And the guy who I told was the pot dealer in the neighborhood, he was our fence. Because most of the time we wanted money for the stuff.
Yeah.
VCRs at the time were worth a lot of money. I think we used to get $100 for a VCR.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's used because back at that time, the VCRs were $300.
Right.
It wasn't until later that we couldn't get anything from them.
Which is funny because $300 now is still expensive for something.
Pretty much for electronics.
Imagine. Yeah.
So that's what it cost. We would get $100 for them. And then obviously the price started going down as we kept supplying with VCRs that he didn't need. And then they're just kind of getting cheaper.
Yeah.
So we went into this basement and we got a bunch of food. And we're like, well, let's go get something to eat. There was a little bit of money down there for $2. Let's go get a slice of pizza. As we're going back to my basement, waiting for our friend to wake up. He didn't wake up till 5, 6 o'clock at night. So We're like waiting him to wake up so we can sell him the stuff. We're like, hey, you want to go bust into another one? And we're like, all right, we're on the way back to my basement. We go down there and we're like, hello, hello. Nobody answers there. We go down. There's like electronics in there. And it was like, all right, I'm going to go grab some trash bags and I'm going to start like bagging this stuff up. And then so that was like kind of a routine, which we kind of, because we busted in a few houses, we would like get the stuff. And so we're not like walking down the street with this bag. We'd put in garbage and then hide it in the alley in somebody's garbage can.
Okay.
And then come back later for it. So I'm in there trying to like, get some garbage bags and I'm like looking at all the equipment. I didn't even.
Damn, you stole their shit and their garbage bags?
I mean, yeah.
That's fucked up.
No. Well, yeah, we stole their money because my buddy's like, I'm going to go in the bedroom. I'm going to look through.
No, but I'm just saying, you're like, you didn't even bring your own bags. You're like, these motherfuckers got trash bags?
We never did. Everybody's got trash bags.
Oh my God.
We never, you don't want to go with anything pretty much.
Morally fucked up, Aaron.
I mean, a little bit. No, it's definitely morally fucked up. 100%. 100%. But when you're 15 on the run and just don't give a shit.
Right.
You're just like, whatever.
Right.
Whatever. And I hate to say it, but it was exciting, And I'm in there I didn't even I just got the trash bags. I'm going to the living room to start grabbing some stuff. And I hear, Aaron, oh my God. And I like run, we meet in the hallway and he pulls out a fucking stack of money, like a fan. And I'm like, let me see. And I go to grab it and he's like, no, I got my hands on like 4 or 5 bills and I pulled away and he's pulling the same money. I looked at my hand, they're all $100 bills. And I'm like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Boom, we left.
Yeah.
So I grew up in a neighborhood that my friends grew up in a group home. There was a couple group homes in my neighborhood. There was 2 boys group homes and there was a girls one. We as stoners and heavy metalers, we were friends with all the people that were in the group homes.
Yeah.
And so one of the friends, his mom lived in Florida. She ex-stripper, but works in a strip bar as a bartender.
Yeah.
And she was telling her son, oh, we're throwing this big ass party, blah, 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 blah. And then us friends were like, oh, we should go to Florida, blah, blah. It sounds like a blast. He's like, yeah, my mom's so cool, da, da, da. This is pipe dreaming. But when we got the money, we were like, let's go to Florida.
Dude.
Let's go to Florida. And he's like, we got in a cab, me and my buddy, and we went to the guys that lived in group homes, went to a special school that was right next to our high school, but it was only for kids that lived in group homes.
Yeah.
And we drove by, and it was like, get in. And 2 of our friends that lived in the group.
Come on, bitches, we're going to Florida.
Come on. We're telling you, we pull up in a cab and we're like, get in. 2 friends jump in, and then we start telling them, like, we're going to Florida.
I enjoy that you share the wealth that you've stolen from somebody else's
home.
Well,
one of them was too scared. He wouldn't come with us. He's like,
I wouldn't go.
He's like, this is just a short-lived thing. He's like, if I do this, I'm fucked with the group homes. I'm going to end up somewhere else. These group homes that they were cush.
Hey, look at him making good choices.
He was like, this will fuck everything up. He worked to get into these group homes that were good.
Yeah.
Life was good. This is on the run for a few days. I smelled like shit. I was like, I'm going to, I think it was Zare. Do you remember this store, Zare? It was like Venture, Zare.
Oh, Venture, shit.
Okay, one of them was called Zare, and I think it was Zare. It might have been Kmart, whatever it was.
I was just going to say there was also Kmart.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I want to say it might have been Zare. But anyways, I was like, we got a hotel room, a really nice hotel room, and I was like, I'm going to Zare real quick. I'm going to go buy luggage, and I'm going to buy.
And you're both 15?
He was just like a year or 2 older than me.
Because I'm trying to think, like, when did they start making everything 18? Because you can't get a hotel room now.
Oh, yeah. I think it was cash. And that where I
Some seedy hotel.
There's a whole strip of all seedy.
Okay.
Jug, hookers.
Yeah.
We were even renting things and we throw parties in those hotels.
Great.
But as long as you got cash, and even at a young age, I already had like a beard and mustache and everything.
Me too.
I was buying liquor and I know they didn't think I was 21, but they were like.
Right. They didn't care enough. Yeah.
They didn't care enough.
It was
and
a
the
different
hotels
time.
too. Right.
Yeah.
You got cash? Sure. Whatever.
Yeah.
And they were nasty hotels. Take off. I took a shower real quick. I went and got some luggage, got some t-shirts, a bunch of Slayer shirts.
Was that your band?
It was. We were into heavy metal at the time. So
Pantera?
Pantera wasn't out yet.
Oh.
Pantera wasn't out. It was like
Old
Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, Merciful Fate. Anyways. So I was like, I'm going to get a bunch of like t-shirts, black t-shirts, and then we're going to Florida. Black t-shirts. So we went and got some weed from our buddy. And we're like, we're going to Florida. His mom, we called his mom, we're going to come out there. She booked everything for us.
Oh, okay.
And we'll take care of it when we get there. We got cash.
Yeah.
We'll take care of it. Just you book it for us.
Yeah.
So we got a bunch of weed. I think we bought a half ounce of weed. We get on the flight and some people say I'm very smart. I don't think I'm very smart. I did some of the stupidest things when I was so I'm like, I'm gonna go smoke some weed in the bathroom.
Oh,
I'm gonna do some one-hitters. So
in the hotel?
No, in the airplane in the bathroom.
Oh
no! We're on the flight to Florida. So I go.
You couldn't wait 3 hours?
No.
Oh my God.
I just didn't think anything of it. I was like, no consequence. One, I thought I could get away with it. I really thought I could get away with it. So I'm like sitting in there on the toilet, and there's big signs like no smoking, no fumar, all the things that you're
no
not
fumar.
Anything that's like it's blatantly it says no smoking. Da da da. I get it. I was like, all right, I had a cigarette ready. I didn't light it yet. I set it down, and I did a one-hitter. And I'm looking up at this thing on the ceiling, and it's blinking. I'm like, what the hell is that? And I go to reach it. As I'm about to touch it, me. I'm like, smoke alarm. Oh, shit. I light the cigarette. I'm like, puffing and everything. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
open
like,
the door.
Smoke faster, bitch.
She's like, boom, boom. Open the door. Open the door. And I'm just like, ah. And then I open the door. I open the door. And they're like, oh, God, they're like the evil eye from the stewardess. And they're like, do you know there's no smoking? I was like, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to smoke in here. And they're like, yeah, okay. And luckily, I was in the last row because when I came out of the bathroom and looked down, it was just all evil eye. Everybody in the rows looking back, giving the evil eye. And I'm just like, oh. I go into like the seat, you know. And then the guy in front of us, he's like, couldn't wait to smoke that weed until you landed, right? He's like, I mean, no, I smoke a cigarette. And he's like, yeah, right. He's like, as soon as that door opened, it just flooded the cabin. It stunk like weed.
And you didn't get in trouble?
No. I mean, I was a teenager at the time, but what were they really going to do?
Arrest you?
I mean, I guess they could have. They could have. The guy who was in front of us, he bought us drinks. We gave him a little bit of weed for buying us drinks.
Before they had the air marshals on the plane.
They might have still had air marshals.
Not like they do now.
No, not like now. But I think they still had. I think the air marshals were still a thing. They figured it's like it's a teenager, take a puff of some weed or whatever it was. You know, what are they going to do?
Oh my God!
His mom picked us up, and the friend stayed with his mom. Me and my friend, she knew a person who lived in these long stay hotels. It was right in Hollywood Beach, right on the beach. You know, had kitchenette and everything. She's like, you're going to stay here? She's like, I'll pick you up every day and you'll come back to my condo. You guys can swim, blah, 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 have fun. But you guys are going to stay here. We'll drop you off in the night. So we stayed there overnight. And now my mom, she knows I'm on the run. My dad knows I'm on the run.
Oh, shit.
But they have no idea where I'm at. So I'm like, well, my dad's a fucking asshole. My mom, I was like, let me call my mom.
R.I.P. Dad.
Let me call my mom just to let her know. Yeah, right. Just to let her know I'm okay. I'm like, hey, Mom. She's like, where are you? And I'm just like, oh,
at the library.
I was like, I'm in New York. She's like, you're in New York? She's like, she's like, how'd you get in New York? I was like, my buddy, his aunt lives in New York. He's visiting his aunt paid for him to travel to visit and stay with him. And she let him bring a friend along. And so my mom's, okay, well, she's like, I heard, there's been, rumors about where you're at, this and that, Florida. I'm like, how the fuck does she know?
A mother always knows.
Well, I think what it was is the kid who didn't come with us.
Narked?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
He narked and it got just down the line, so I'm still telling a lie though. I'm like, I'm in New York. And she's like, all right, well, I need to have a phone number. So like, if there's an emergency, I know where to contact you. I'm like, okay, that sounds good. She's like, so I was like, we're staying in a motel. She's like, okay. She's like, what's the name of the motel? I'm like, the Shady Breeze Motel. She's like, the Shady Breeze Motel in New York? And I'm like, okay, I'm in Florida. I'm in Florida. She's like, yeah, that's what I thought.
Just kidding, Mom.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Shady Breeze Motel in New York?
Shady Breeze Motel.
I was just stupid. I was like,
on Long Beach Avenue in New York.
Like, that was so stupid. I just gave her the name of the hotel. I was like, damn, I busted myself.
What is she going to do? Come get you?
I mean, she just wanted to know. My mom was cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
so what we have is...
So it could have been worse.
Yours.
It could have been worse. I could have been busted by them and they would have sent me back because I'm a juvenile on the run. It could have been so much worse. Instead, I got to party for like 2 straight weeks. Oh man, it was the time of my life.
You're the only person that I know who gets consistently rewarded for bad behavior.
I mean, there's some badness in there, but it's more good than the good outweighed the bad.
So our silly story this week comes from thesun.com. So Aaron, picture this. Mm-hmm. You're sitting on a packed flight, tray table down. Perhaps you're on your way to Florida to the Shady Breeze Motel. You're hoping for a bag of pretzels and a ginger ale. Instead, the lady next to you busts out flour and water. and starts making fresh pasta mid-flight. She pours the flour on the tray table like it's a countertop, adds water, kneads dough, rolls it out, shapes it, the whole thing. We're talking Top Chef at 30,000 feet. Other passengers are staring.
Oh, I'm down with that. I was like, I got the marinara right here. I can make some noodles, some bread. What do you want?
But she can't cook it because they're on a plane.
That's true.
So she just made a bunch of dough.
She has a little rig that's lighters.
Right, she's got a bunch of pasta, which means she is now carrying around a Ziploc bag of half-kneaded pasta dough through TSA.
You got to think creative. Okay, so in jail, there's these things that they make. They're called bombs, and they make toilet paper, and they like roll it in, and then when you light it in the bottom, it's like almost like a sterno can for like they're keeping things warm. That's what she's got. She's making toilet paper bombs so she can cook her pasta.
Paper bomb pasta.
Uh huh. They even and they do stingers there too. They take a wire that has a plug, and then they leave the open end things, and they put it in water
To boil?
to boil. It's called a stinger.
So fucking smart.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no plugs on an airplane, but she can make the toilet paper bombs. She can make a pasta. I can warm up my marinara.
You can help her light it with what you lit your joint with?
Yeah. I mean, you're allowed lighters. You can still bring lighters on the plane.
Oh, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode now that you know who we are and why you should probably never take our advice. Next week, we're diving into some sort of different story that Aaron has.
Yes. There's many of them.
Other than that, I'm Amber.
I'm Aaron.
And we've been there, done that, but Aaron has been arrested.
That's right.
And we'll see you next week.
True.
Bye.
Bye. That's a tame story. Seriously, I mean, it gets so much crazier.
I can't wait.
I mean, that was at 14, 15.